Well, basically, if a student's cumulative GPA falls below a 2.0, they're notified by usually the dean's office. And then what happens is Joel and Brian and myself sort of work together to hold sort of meetings for the students based off of their year. So we have like a freshman probation meeting, a sophomore probation meeting, and then we meet with juniors and seniors individually in our office. And the goal is really to expose them to all the campus offices around, many of which they sort of haven't been going to or don't know about in the first place. So obviously the advising center is like the #1 primary resource for them to come in, especially if a student's undeclared or doesn't feel like their major is the right fit. We'll sort of look to kind of, get them into an appropriate major right away. The other thing is we harp on them to go to the learning center to meet with tutors and get help with writing and test taking skills and everything like that. The other thing too is we work closely with career development. So again, to help them looking at majors and potential career opportunities, all of which plays into the academic field. And then we also recommend both the counseling center, which is on campus, and has free confidential services, because many times students on probation are also going through family issues or relationship issues. And we also work with Supported Education, who's about 2 doors down in the hallway here, student services.
Quick Q&A. Who do you think is more prone to end up on academic probation? A, freshmen, B, transfers, C, upperclassmen, or D, all of the above? The answer is D. Shocking. Brian Roberts from the Advising Center tells us why.
So the question is, what type of groups are on academic probation? Well, there are a few types. Typically, the first type are students with a low level of completed credits, because students who have a high number of credits have found to somehow successfully navigate their academic system fairly well. But typically freshmen and sometimes sophomores, they haven't gotten the hang of college, and they can be more likely to be at risk and be put on academic probation. Another cohort that can be troublesome is transfer students. Transfers come from a disparate range of colleges, some not prepared for the academic rigor of Purchase College, others not prepared for the social life. They may have commuted to a community college and now are living on campus and have adjustment issues. We find those students tend to fall on probation as well. The third type of student on probation, and perhaps the most troubling, are juniors and seniors who have under a 2.0. These are students who have been put on probation, gotten off probation, gone back on probation, and they're troubling because they have a large number of credits already, which means it's hard for them to get off probation. They really need to do well in a lot of their classes, and they're getting close to graduating, and to graduate Purchase College you need a 2.0 or to be off probation.
Try to impart to them that they have to sort of accept that something that they did last semester didn't work, and that doing the same thing over and over again and doing something that's not different is just going to lead to the same result. Whether that means not going out as much, whether it means learning how to study when you don't have to study for an exam or a test or things of those, or assignments in general. Just trying to create that expectation of them and change their perspective. So really, to get off academic probation, realize a lot of their individual effort, and there's a lot of practical techniques and policies that we can use, but it really does come down to sort of making sure that they have the expectation that they will get off of academic probation, and that they have to take steps, a lot of times uncomfortable steps, to actually raise up their grades.
So what have we learned? Usually, a student can tell very early on when they're nearing an academic crisis. So before you receive that email from the dean's office, contact the advising and counseling centers and definitely seek out tutoring. Get help and don't wait till it's too late. Reporting for Panther Bites, this is Sky Braun.